Cuyahoga County Council regular meeting for Tuesday, October 12th, 2021 is now called to order. Andrea, would you please call the roll?
As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county YouTube page. It is now 5:15 p.m. Calling the roll, Ms. Stevens.
Present.
Ms. Simon.
Here.
Ms. Baker.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schron is absent. Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Ms. Brown.
Here.
Council President Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council President,
Yes,
would you like to excuse the absence of Councilmember Schron?
I would. Council. Does it require an actual motion?
Yes.
All right, well, I will make the motion that we excuse Councilman Jack Strong.
Second. Conwell.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Our colleague is excused. Okay. Now, for a moment of silence, let me say, sadly, since our last council meeting when we mourned the death of Judge Nancy McDonald, we have experienced the death of two more respected members of our Cuyahoga County Judiciary. Common Pleas Court Judge Joseph D. Russo and Court of Appeals Judge Larry A. Jones, a graduate of St. Joseph High School and Case Western Reserve University School of Law. Judge Joe Russo served on the Common Pleas Court bench since 2001. In 2013, he commenced service on the court's commercial docket, overseeing complex businesses and corporate lawsuits. Throughout his career, Judge Russo was respected by his colleagues and the bar alike, and he will be missed. Judge Larry Jones was a beloved jurist for more than 20 years in Cleveland Municipal Court and for the past 12 years in the 8th District Court of Appeals. He was a trailblazer in Cleveland's legal community. The attorneys who practiced before him and his former and current colleagues on the bench always remember that Judge Jones considered them to be his favorite. Prior to his time on the bench, Judge Jones served on Cleveland City Council from 1981 to 1987, and as an assistant prosecuting attorney in the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office from 1978 to 1981. Finally, we also mourn the loss of noted writer, entrepreneur, and community activist Mansfield Frazier. Mansfield's life was a testament to the power of redemption and mentorship. His service to the city, in particular to the Huff neighborhood, through his noted winery, Chateau Huff Vineyard, will never be forgotten. We remember the lives and legacies of Judge Joe Russo, Judge Larry Jones, and Mansfield Frazier. Now, with a moment of silence. Thank you. Andre, has anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes. Lou?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just learned another lesson about how all of you sitting up here protecting our county's benefits, the dollars, and the county's economy with this particular deal. I'm talking about Progressive Field. I remember a while back, we had a similar event, but that was for basketball. So on the grand opening date, I went there. Even I had a field trip report and to share with all of you. And I was happy on that day. I really saw our council member, Brown, and some other people were all there to celebrate. I really appreciate Councilman Gallagher's question. Would that really be our best interest to invest money on such a thing? When the organization, the Major League Baseball, has not been there for people. Same thing. Little people has other problems to struggle. They definitely cannot afford to go to any ballpark or any stadiums. For example, people's health issues are still not considered valuable if they are homeless. Thank you for Councilman Sweeney to introduce me to Mr. Metro Health. So I wish for the greater good for the whole county and for all the little good for each individual in this county, lots of things can be improved this year. And I welcome our budget session will start again. And this time, I really wish lots of overlooked services will really get a better portions of the funding. So lots of people's life can be ditched out in the gaps. Otherwise, the rich people will be richer and the poor people will be poorer. That's not the benefit we will all be looking at for Cuyahoga County. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, that concludes the public comment portion of today's meeting.
Can I have a motion to approve our minutes from the September 28th Committee of the Whole and regular meeting?
I so move.
Second, Sweeney.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the minutes are approved. At this time, we'll have messages from our county executive.
Thank you, Mr. President. I hope you've all been vaccinated. COVID's still roaring here and across the country. We've received lots of questions about boosters. So let me just briefly tell you about the status. The FDA has approved booster shots for people who've received Pfizer vaccines. If you're at least 65 or have certain medical conditions or are immunocompromised. You should wait 6 months after you receive the last shot, although there's no harm if you get it a little early. And you can't mix and match. If you got Moderna or Johnson & Johnson, don't try to get a Pfizer booster. The FDA has not yet approved a booster for Moderna or Johnson & Johnson, but probably will in the next few weeks. The good news is that the immunity from Moderna does not wane as fast as the Pfizer. The County Board of Health is hosting booster clinics on the next 2 Tuesdays in October. The 19th at Tri-C's Western Campus Rec Center in Parma, and the 26th at the Word Church in Warrensville Heights. You can register for an appointment at either of those clinics by visiting gettheshot.coronavirus.gov. And as long as we're talking vaccines, you should also think about getting your flu shot. There's no waiting period for the flu shot before or after your COVID vaccination or booster. And if your loved ones are not yet vaccinated, please urge them to do so. Thank you.
All right. Legislation introduced by council. Committee reports in consideration of resolutions of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2021-0191, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Council President. This item was heard in the Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee meeting. There were 4 revisions and 1 deletions, and I respectfully request my colleagues' support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2021-0196, again, adopting another various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Council President, this was also heard in the Human Resource Appointment and Equity Committee meeting. There were 3 new additions and 18 revisions, and I would respectfully request my colleagues' support.
Again, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the item is adopted. Legislation introduced by executive. Consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second, Brown.
Moved in second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, rules 9D and 12A are suspended.
Resolution 2021-0228, amending the 2020-2021 biennial operating budget for 2021 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, for appropriation transfers, and for cash transfers. Also, amending resolution number R 2021-0032, dated January 26, 2021.
Move to adopt.
Second, Brown.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular fiscal agenda of budget amendments. Director Parfiowitz provided answers to our questions, and they have been distributed. Most items are routine appropriations and closeouts of grants, transfers, corrections, and accounting adjustments. Notable is the appropriation of $413,635 to several organizations for services to the veteran community, using funds left over from the Veterans Commission, as is our practice. I recommend adoption on first reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, item is adopted.
Resolution 2021-0229, approving a memorandum of understanding between Cuyahoga County and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, representing employees in the classifications of Correction Officer and Protective Services Officer for the period October 1st, 2021 through April 1st, 2022, allowing for the use of protective services officers to work in the Cuyahoga County Corrections Center when additional corrections staffing is needed.
Move to adopt. This item was discussed in executive session, and I do ask for my colleagues' support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2021-0230, approving a proposed settlement in the matter of Devon Bean versus Cuyahoga County et al., Northern District of Ohio, case number 119CV01000.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded, and this item again was previously discussed in executive session, and I do ask for my colleagues' support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2021-0231, confirming the county executive's appointment of Cheryl Braddis to serve on the Cuyahoga County Advisory Board on Senior and Adult Services for an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2021.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2021-0232, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Sam Thomas III to serve on the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging Board of Trustees. It's for the term January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2023.
This item will also be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2021-0233, authorizing the appropriation of real property for replacement of Old Rockside Road, bridge number 00.42, over the Cuyahoga River in the City of Independence and Village of Valleyview.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2021-0234, authorizing an amendment to Agreement Number 968 with State of Ohio Department of Administrative Services Office of Information Technology for software licenses and maintenance on an IBM LPAR mainframe. It's for the period March 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2020, to extend the time period to August 31st, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $700,000.
This item will be referred to Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2021-0235, making awards on requisition 4810 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $1,720,659.34 for trauma-informed respite and youth care center services for the period September 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023. For items listed on the printed agenda, A through C.
This item will be referred to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee.
Resolution 2021-0236, making an award on requisition 6987 to Schwartz Uniform Corporation in the amount not to exceed $875,000 for furnishing uniforms for Cuyahoga County Correction Officers. It's for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024.
This item will be referred to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee.
Resolution 2021-0237, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various municipalities and providers for various services for the Community Social Services Program for the period January 1st, 2019 through December 30th, 2021, to remove Elder Care Services Institute, LLC, effective November 9th, 2021, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $600,000 for items A through Z as listed on the agenda.
And this item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2021-0238, adopting the 2022-2023 biennial operating budget and capital improvements program.
This item will be referred to Committee of the Whole. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution 2021-0220, authorizing the Director of Public Works to execute and submit a loan application in the amount of $3,359,000 to State of Ohio, Ohio Public Works Commission to finance a portion of various Pleasant Valley Road Bridge projects for the following projects: A, rehabilitation of bridge number 09.03 over Riverview Road and an unnamed creek in the City of Independence. B, rehabilitation of bridge number 0935 over Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad in the City of Independence. And C, replacement of bridge number 09.68 over Cuyahoga River in the City of Independence and Village of Valleyview.
This item will move to the October 26th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2021-0222, authorizing an Economic Development Fund redevelopment and modernization loan in the amount not to exceed $1 million to Manufacturing Advocacy and Growth Network for the redevelopment of a vacant building located at 1800 East 63rd Street in the City of Cleveland for the relocation of Magnet Manufacturing Technology and Job Center headquarters.
This item will also move to the October 26th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2021-0223, authorizing an Economic Development Fund redevelopment and modernization loan in the amount not to exceed $1 million to LG Blanket Mill, LLC, for the redevelopment of a vacant building located at 3160 West 33rd Street in the City of Cleveland for a mixed-use structure for the Northern Ohio Blanket Mills project.
This item will move to the October 26th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2021-0225, authorizing an amendment to Agreement Number 204 with the Metro Health System for comprehensive medical services for families involved with Division of Children and Family Services for the period January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,551,000.
This item will move to the October 26th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend Rules 9D and suspend Rule 9D?
Mr. President, I move to suspend that rule.
Second, Brown.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor of suspending the rules say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2021-0221, making an award on requisition 6721 to Sona Construction, LLC, in the amount not to exceed $2,320,000 for modernization of elevators in Jail 2 at the Justice Center Complex.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this resolution deals with the Jail 2 at the Justice Center. On October 6, 2021, Matt Reimer from Public Works came before Public Works Committee to discuss this. This is 100% funded by county capital improvement funds. It involves 3 elevators, and it's based on inspection reports that indicated that there were deficiencies found as recently as October of 2021. The elevator parts are approximately 25 to 30 years old and need to be replaced. An earlier report from 2019 called for immediate need to complete modernization to achieve operational integrity and reliability. This came before the committee. We asked a lot of pertinent questions because it is in the Justice Center. However, we determined that it's necessary to move forward with this legislation and these repairs, and I would ask for my council's colleagues' support on moving this forward through second reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2021-0224, authorizing contract number 1791 with Applewood Centers in the amount not to exceed $926,647 for emergency respite and crisis bed services for youth referred by the Coordinated Approach to Misdemeanors Program, also known as CALM, for the period July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022.
Move to adopt.
Second, Conwell.
Mr. President, this was heard in committee from our friends over at Juvenile Court. This is a new program to provide services for misdemeanants within the court. It's basically a place where they can put youth that need to be somewhere, not at home and certainly not in jail. So this is a new program paid for by reclaimed funds, and we'll see how it goes. They'll report back next year.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2021-0226, authorizing amendments to contracts with various providers for emergency shelter and rapid rehousing services in connection with the fiscal year 2017 Continuum of Care Homeless Assistance Grant Program for the period June 1st, 2018 through May 31st, 2021, to extend the time period to May 31st, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $992,744.
Move to adopt.
Second, Brown.
Mr. President, this contract was amended to include 4 new providers, where each funding structure is different in regards to the Health and Human Service levy funds that will be utilized. 64% of HHS funds for item A, 53% for item B, 49% for item C, and 39% of HHS levy funds for item D. The remainder percentage portions of funds come from the Federal Housing and Urban Development Continuum of Care Grant, and I ask my colleagues to pass this legislation so critical services provided by Cuyahoga County can continue and to provide as usual.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2021-0227, making an award on requisition 5966 to Stella Morris, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $530,000 for temporary housing for homeless single adult males in Cuyahoga County with substance abuse issues for the period July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this contract was heard in October 6th committee as well. It's 100% funded by Health and Human Service levy funds, so I ask my colleagues for their support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Consideration of an ordinance for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second, Brown.
All right, all those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Ordinance 2021-0016, an uncodified ordinance, amending uncodified ordinance number O-2021-0015, which authorizes the county executive to provide a one-time bonus to bargaining and non-bargaining county employees who have received the COVID-19 vaccine by establishing a date certain by which information must be submitted to the Department of Human Resources.
Move to adopt. Thank you, Councilwoman Conwell. This item, Council President, I believe will allow the employees who have been vaccinated and those who may have had some hesitancy to present documentation to certify that they have accepted the COVID-19 vaccine. This will give us much more clarity on our COVID-19 vaccination rate as it relates to our employees. I will yield to the administration if they would like to add anything additional, but that date certain, to my understanding, would be November 12th to ensure that the payment of $100 would fall within the 2021 pay period. I respectfully request my colleagues' support.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if I may, at the meeting 2 weeks ago, during the questioning at the end of the meeting about this, Director Drucker testified that there was an end date for the program, but the legislation didn't actually include an end date. So in order to clarify that and to make sure it's not kind of left up into the whatever could happen, we decided to amend this ordinance to put an end date in it.
Does that require any action on our part right now?
Yes, you need to amend that prior ordinance, yes, with this ordinance.
So we need to make a motion right now to
Adopt.
adopt.
Yeah.
So moved.
Officially make it. Consider that the motion. Been properly
Okay,
moved
second.
and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Clarification, this is just to extend the date.
To clarify the date, to give it an end date.
Clarify
This
it.
is
So-
to fix an end date, yes.
Okay.
It was, since I asked a question.
You finished, Councilman? Yes, Councilman Sweeney.
Thank you, Mr. President. All this was when I had the opportunity to ask a couple questions on this particular piece of legislation. It was shared with us that there was an end date, but it was never in the legislation. And all we're doing today is putting it in the legislation so it's codified properly. That's my understanding. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for the administration and
That's-
director to find it properly.
That's a good
Fair
summary.
enough.
That's an accurate summary, yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution, the ordinance is adopted. Okay. As amended, yes.
Excuse me.
I apologize. This ordinance does clarify the date, ladies and gentlemen. So we already passed the resolution in the previous city council meeting to incentivize again our employees, but we did not have an end date. So now this legislation puts the date on it of November the 12th. So this is the amended
This is
legislation.
the amendment, yes.
So we don't have to amend. Right. So for clarification, that we now have the resolution for the ordinance before us, and it is being recommended for passage. So let's go through our due diligence again. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Again.
Opposed? The ordinance is adopted.
We're on page
Are we okay?
We're on page 13.
All right, we're on page 13 now, the last page. Committee report and consideration of an ordinance for third reading adoption.
Ordinance 2021-0014, an uncodified ordinance authorizing the county executive to make a one-time conversion of exchange time into a straight time payment for selected employees within the Department of Information Technology.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This item was heard in the Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee meeting. It affects 13 employees who worked through the pandemic to install technology to allow our employees to work from home. That was to the tune of around 2,000 employees. So to keep our county services going, these 13 employees could not benefit from time off. And so this is the alternative option that we are respectfully requesting, and I would ask for my colleagues' support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the ordinance is adopted. But this time, our miscellaneous committee reports. Are there any committee reports?
Mr. President,
Councilman Miller.
my colleagues, Finance and Budgeting Committee will not meet before the next council meeting, but we are beginning our budget hearings this week, with all sessions being held in the Committee of the Whole to facilitate active participation by all council members. Prior to the next council meeting, we will have budget hearings this coming Thursday, the day after tomorrow, October 14th, Monday, October 18th, Thursday, October 21st, and Monday, October 25th, all from 1 through 5 p.m. I know it is a major commitment of time and energy, and I'm thankful for everybody's participation and contribution.
Council President, the Human Resources Appointment Equity Committee will meet on October 19th at its regularly scheduled time of 10 o'clock for the items referred today.
President, Safety, Tuesday, 1 o'clock.
Other committee reports.
Mr. President, if Public Works, Wednesday morning, usual time.
President,
Councilwoman.
the Community Development Committee, Subcommittee on Advisory for our work with Key Bank will be meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Any other reports?
Council President,
Yes.
I would just like to note for everyone, the Committee of the Whole will meet on October 19th at 2 p.m. for Progressive Field, to continue the discussions on Progressive Field. Just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Any further committee reports? The Health and Human Services, have we?
I haven't decided if I want to have.
Oh, all right, okay. All right, well, Councilman Miller did mention our budget hearings. They certainly will continue into November as well, November 1st, the 4th, November 8th, November 15th, and November 22nd, all at 1 p.m. And if there are no further reports, all right. Any miscellaneous business? If not, nothing else holds our attention, our meeting is adjourned.